ScreaM going up against Team Germany. Team ScreaM, of course, on the defensive side. And on the opposite side, it will be Team Germany ready to attack. On bind, Bach, I hope you're ready because we're in for one hell of a treat.
You can see the composition here. The Rays favored over the Breach. Again, this has been mentioned, sort of more of a European flair, where Breach is not as frequently brought out into play. But the compositions match across the board. Rays, Sage, Sova, Cypher, and Brim. So early on, we're going to see the attacking side try and work their way in towards Hookah. That's Germany. You've got EC1S playing defense. The camera was taken down, so spot was made, but look at the aggression coming in from ScreaM. ScreaM can't even get a bullet out of the Classic before he's taken down. One shot fired, and that's going to be it. So the player advantage early on here for the attacking side.
Yeah, and you lose probably one of the most pivotal members of your team already. But of course, it is Team Germany that have, you know, in a way, the odds stacked against them. If you think about these two rosters, we've talked about it numerous times throughout the pregame that they have a lot to kind of make up here in terms of skill power. TrilluXe starting us off already with another kill. Ice Paper Hands will be the one that gets taken down. Another will go on to JEROME, and it's already the pistol going over to the side of Team Germany. And they got that spike planted. TrilluXe with another. That's going to be the hop up in through heaven with the fourth. Just demanding respect all the way down to 5 HP. Pistol going over to Germany. Now we'll move on to potentially that soft buy. Let's see how this second round goes.
If we go ahead and check the scoreboard as well, just to see who's playing what positions and what character classes. So davidp favoring the Rays, EC1S on the Cypher. The Sova is Ice Paper Hands, which I'm assuming is ardiis. JEROME on the Brim, and then ScreaM rocking the Sage on the opposite end. TrilluXe on the Brim, no surprise there. Nookyyy on Sage, zonixx with the Rays, Rax on the Cypher, and davidp on the Sova. Kind of expected to see those because that's what they played the previous map. I like the camera placement coming out here from EC1S. It tucks back behind the corner, but they see the camera go out, so they immediately take it down. You've got EC1S also rocking the Judge, so it is a bit of a force up here from the defense. With that shotgun brought into play, that's going to make things harder. That's unfortunate. So the Bomb Buddy goes out, the Roomba spotting out the player close in the corner. The nade's going to do a little bit of damage. Actually, not too much. The Molly in is actually going to be worse. Oh. No! He's able to dodge it just up in the corner, barely ducking away from that damage. And the smart wall coming out from the Sage to try and prevent the push from coming through.
Wow, they were able to bait out so much utility just from one position. That Molotov, unfortunately, not able to reach EC1S. Now they will call that rotate over to A. Despite winning the attack, they've so far had a little bit of a struggle. JEROME here with that force buy has the Spectre in tow. And he's ready to lock and load. They'll swing around the corner. One shot from ScreaM from above. It's zonixx that'll punish that aggression forward. Now here with the swing. That's going to be ardiis. Oh, baby. 2 quick kills on the Ghost. And now it's all down to davidp. And he's up against 4 players from ScreaM.
davidp peeks out, has to take the battle with ScreaM early on. The satchel's going to land in his lap, drops him down to 25 HP. A strong force buy coming out here from Team ScreaM. As Germany's probably a little bit frustrated with that one. They pick up the pistol round and do so pretty decisively. But then when it comes into the second round, they just can't contest with ScreaM and that Marshall. But even bigger was Ice Paper Hands over here on short, just working that Ghost as they try to run from the nade. Good timing on the peak. So the attackers going to be down to classics. It looks like maybe a few sheriffs brought into the fold. Yeah, Nookyy's actually going to go light armor sheriff, having a little bit of an extra bankroll to fall back on.
We're going to see the aggressive push in here. It's going to be a 3-stack towards the showers, and see if that ends up paying off. They gather the intel, and on the opposite side, it is Team Germany. They are positioned and poised towards that B site. The swing around the corner. ScreaM going to find TrilluXe. Punish that push forward. Another will fall, and then ScreaM just makes it look easy. The camera going to spot 2 up in hookah. Now Team Germany, of course, on the pistol. They are in a little bit of trouble. Don't think they'll be able to come out on top here because they have a couple more members out. ScreaM with the 3rd. He's just going to keep mowing him down with the 4th. One more in wood, and he wants that 5th. See if he can get it. Swings around the corner, sprays him down, and an ace for ScreaM.
Not all that surprised to see ScreaM clapping off here. clapping back against the Germans after being kind of shut down in that pistol round on the aggressive play. He ends up showing up big with the Bulldog, picks up an ace here, and now it should be Germany coming into a full buy. The economy for the defense might be a little bit bizarre, but only because they won off of force buy and some of those players survived. So not sure how they're going to handle the weaponry coming into the round. But regardless, you'll see the full buy coming out here from the attack as Team Germany tries to prevent this from getting out of hand early on here with this round win. davidp getting pretty gutsy to go for that pick, the pickup on the orb, but JEROME is there ready for the trade out if anything were to happen. Instead, TrilluXe tries to swing wide, take down the player picking up the orb. Nothing's going to happen instead. The Owl does go through the portal, so they spotted these players in mid, so they understand that there is some presence toward mid, and that's why you see the Rays already rotating over towards the B site.
It's still Team Germany, of course, losing that member towards Dust. Little not sure where they want to go. Camera up in hookah will spot this push through, but they are aware of it. And zonixx might play with the camera in mind, but the light goes on, and just like that, spy cam will be taken out. A great position here. The side of EC1S ready and waiting down with the flank. This can be ScreaM ready as well. The barrier orb, the slow orb. Now the swing around the corner. The spray is good, but it only finds one. And the trade here from nookyyy. ScreaM now getting into a place with the reposition. davidp somehow throws it down long. Finds 2 quick kills, and it's all up to zonixx now, all on his lonesome. That's going to be a scent there. A blast pack sent there, trying to find him. The paint shells as well to answer back. They're just throwing the kitchen sink at him. He's trying to dodge left, right, and center. But ice paper hands will come out on top, and great execution on the defense there from the side of Team ScreaM. Wish we could have saw that like nade fly over long, but just what a great kill using that paint shells.
Just dumping utility at that last target. Great nade work coming out from davidp. The Rays proving to be worth the selection. It kind of looks like, based on the pings, we might actually see some aggression here on short. You've got 2 players potentially ready to push up just a bit, and there you go, the Sage, or the Sova, excuse me, and the Brim right behind, and that's TrilluXe going down. So putting the rifles right in their faces on a round where they're not bringing much into play gives a tremendous amount of map control here for the defense. It does look like, though, they're going to head over towards B instead. There's the slow orb coming down off the sound cue on the ult orb. It's been picked up, so ScreaM knows someone's here, and it's an easy follow-up potential, though. Rax is there with the Sheriff, so even though it should have been potentially a 1-2 punch from ScreaM, quickly taken down, and now there's a lot of pressure on the Cypher in window. The Cypher goes down. Ice paper hands already on the flank. There's no way they anticipate this.
Yep, that's going to be taken out. zonixx with his pants down. The spike will get planted. Still one more. Whoa! That ghost is clean. The Roomba not able to clean up the sauce off the kitchen table, and it's another round for the side of Team ScreaM, and a fancy one at that. Ice paper hands, otherwise known as ardiis, finding himself in a sticky situation, switches to the pistol, gets a frag, and it's starting off rough here for the side of Team Germany.
We'll look at this one again here on the flank. Able to spot out zonixx from behind, trying to spam through to prevent the plant. Runs out of ammo and just quickly throws a bullet straight into the chest as the Roomba goes on the hunt. So it was that aggressive play on short from ardiis that got things started, and then he just continued on his relentless push forward, taking the fight to the doorstep of the German side. The Germans team going to have the full buy coming in, though. They're going to have the rifles across the board and should have full kits with the skills and utilities necessary. Right off the bat, you can see the Owl drone going down in mid. Does spot the Rays in the corner, so they know there's one present. The Roomba also kind of made that pretty clear as it made its way in through hookah.
Molotov up into the cubby to make sure that no one is hiding with the flank. And against a team like Team ScreaM, want to make sure that all your flanks are covered, especially one that can be so scary around the corner like the cubby. And now they'll pick up that spike, which was left behind. Now looking towards A, 55 seconds on the clock and counting. Team Germany playing a little slower than what we were used to in that previous map against Team Spain. In my opinion, maybe respecting Team ScreaM, but so far, every single time they've tried to push in, it hasn't worked out in their favor. 4 ultimates available on the board for them here, so they may look to use it in conjunction with their weaponry. Now they'll start that push in. JEROME finds 1, 2. That's going to be the third from davidp. The spike will not be picked up here. zonixx quickly trades it back now, picking up that spike, but they just keep falling in through connector, and it's all up to one final member peeking around the showers. And ardiis will not get that shot as EC1S. And these rounds are just surgical from the side of Team ScreaM.
Again, we kind of highlighted this coming into the series. Team ScreaM just very proficient. A lot of experience coming in. About as much experience as you can have in a game that's only a few weeks old. But plenty of experience coming in at this level of play in Valorant, and it shows. Looking very strong thus far. Again, Germany trying to find the weak spot in the armor, but as of yet, there doesn't appear to be one. Very strong on the defense right now for Germany. davidp, again, getting aggressive in showers, but it's ardiis picking off a player early, and it's TrilluXe who is now down and out, and that is a frustrating blow because, again, TrilluXe was so good. Now, look at this. They've got this aggressive play over on long. Both players on B pushing through. What they don't realize is they already surrendered control of long B, or mid B, excuse me. So they've already got players up in hookah, and that is a little bit awkward. Gob B going to get picked off in spawn, and now Rax is like, wait, what? How is this happening? You guys are in hookah, and they've got to contend with one more. The Sage also pushed through, but they're sort of dancing around each other back in towards attacker spawn.
See if Rax finds himself on the other end. Some bullets, still looking down long. There is one member up in hookah from the side of Team ScreaM looking to try to gather some of that information and control back into their favor. It is a 3v4. The recon bolt and the tripwire making Rax's life a living nightmare. The spray coming around the corner, that's going to be the showstopper, and the orbital strike just throwing the kitchen sink their way. A couple of those sprays not going to connect. JEROME finds himself a kill through the elbow. And oh my goodness, ardiis, ScreaM, the whole family's here to play. Just one after the other, finding the frags they need, moving on for another round. 6-1. This is a rough start for Germany.
They haven't even stuck the defuse yet. They're just kind of wandering about. Yeah, there they go. They're trying to stack up those ult points. Everyone around currently had the ult up except for the Raze, so they want to give that one over to the Brim. Allow them to stack up that ult. So they got the spike, halfway. ardiis, 8-2 performance coming in from ardiis. ScreaM has obviously had his fair share of highlight rounds. We saw davidp go off with the grenade on long B early on as well. But as of yet, Germany not able to find any kind of opening. It feels like maybe they can sneak their way onto a site, but it's mostly because of timing on aggressive plays coming in from ScreaM. That's how it worked in the last round. They were able to kind of like sneak their way out because they got aggressive on long B. There's the deep recon dart beyond showers. It does spot out one. They know the Raze is present right around the corner. Meanwhile, over on long, you lose EC1S in a duel against pistols, no less. But with the wall and the ult available from the Sage, there is no concern, and both players are just going to get stuck, tucked in the corner. They desperately need to get out of this position quick because there is a horde of players waiting on the other side of that frozen wall.
They actually gave up that control, maybe not really sure or certain what was going to happen. Now with that wall breaking down, ScreaM going to be the first one. Taking a quick look around the corner, the spray comes through, but the buddy system works out in their favor. TrilluXe will be the one that falls now. They will look for their push in towards hookah, but unfortunately, I think that recon bolt or whatever that was kind of discouraged them just a little bit. Now, the new object of their affection will be that A site as they group up together. Not really having the weaponry to play, but the first responders being JEROME and davidp. Let's see how that owl drone now spots out one, the swing around the corner. That'll be JEROME that opens his arms wide for nookyyy. Now with 2 more members remaining, the spike's been picked up. JEROME's still playing that patient game. Gonna find one more. Last one's gonna be planting that spike. And it's business as usual. JEROME finding a 3K. Putting up round number 7 for Team ScreaM.
Again, I mean, all 5 players survive. Now, sure, that was not exactly the strongest round coming out from a purchase standpoint for the side of Germany. So they didn't come in with a heavy investment. It was just pistols. Now the AWP is going to be brought into play, but just looking at the scoreboard, even the top performer, TrilluXe, 4 and 7. I mean, GOB has died every single round, and then the other 4 survived only the 1 round, and that was the pistol. Outside of that, they've been eliminated time and time again. So that mechanical skill coming in for Team ScreaM, big time. Deep dart coming out from Ice Paper Hands yet again. That one will fly back up into spawn. It bounces off the bottom side of that water tower there. But I believe they shot it before it could actually get a pulse out. The other one was from the attacking side, Sova, that you saw the pulses going down with. There's the ult coming out. The Hunter's Fury. Does it actually connect with anyone? No damage dealt, so everyone will remain at full HP here as the ult is not exactly on the mark for the Sova.
We'll see how they decide to push in. GOB, like you said earlier, not really having the best game here. See if he's able to make that adaptation in the second half or in the next map. Those shock darts starting to do a little bit of damage. Rax trying to lead that charge, but has to back away, not having the ammo to continue that push in. A slow orb and a barrier will go up, dissuading that push from the wall, but there's a big 4-stack waiting to get onto the other side. ardiis kind of out in the open, looking in towards Hookah. He needs the support from his teammate, but that recon bolt will give him the information he needs. ScreaM with 1. It's quickly traded away down to a 4v4. They'll start to funnel in, but oh my goodness, davidp with a wonderful use of his utility. Probably the paint shells. Now they come in, funneling in 1 at a time, and then you know it, ScreaM finding 3 beautiful kills for yet another round on the board for them. And this first half is just, as every round continues, it is getting scarier and scarier for Team Germany.
ScreaM now 11, 4, and 6. Playing that Sage and dominating Germany currently. It kind of feels like we're going to run out of things to say here, as we're going to be repeating ourselves over and over and over again. You can see the desperation coming out from Germany. They're going to force up here with 2 Sheriffs and 3 Vandals, just trying to put anything into play if possible. There again is that aggression over in the showers. This time, though, they double up the defensive side from the attacking side. I know that's kind of weird to say, but effectively, they've been pushing aggressively on showers multiple rounds here on the side of Team ScreaM, and oh, this is rough. You're going to lose JEROME here as well. So there's the ult coming out from GOB. Well played from Germany to counter that aggression in the showers.
Yeah, he was just caught between a rock and a difficult arrow. Not really a hard place when he's on the other end of the spectate screen. EC1S finding a kill onto Rax. That quick kill will now generate the neural theft to find out where everyone's located. The quick swing going to pay off in dividends. Now a 2v3. And the operator in hand can get a lot of damage done, but not enough against TrilluXe. Down to a 1v3. EC1S now has to get into a different position using that camera. Knows that it might not be B. That rotate will be called over from the spawn. The tripwire will spot him out. That'll be the tag as well. But 30 seconds remaining. They have to sprint over towards that A site. EC1S getting back into position as there is one member on the other side waiting for him on the vent. And here comes the swing. They hold hands as EC1S says not today. And now that barrier orb going up. Spike will go down. Let's see how the 1v1 unfolds.
Oh, the headshot just over top of the wall. nookyyy tries to get away. EC1S will get the second ace of the game. Strong play from EC1S, and another round, and a little bit of spray there at the end. Maybe BM to some, but in my mind, it's perfectly fine. Let's take a look at the replay as well, so we can just catch up on what happened. EC1S gets one over towards the showers, backs off, picks off GOB, and then the final one there on to nookyyy as nookyyy tries to escape after getting the spike down. 9 rounds to 1. It's looking like that one round, that pistol round win, might be the only round that Germany puts on the board.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a difficult task for them up ahead. 9-1 now. 2 rounds remaining in the half. They have the weaponry to buy this round, but the following may be very difficult for them to overcome. We are seeing credits across the board. Team ScreaM have more credits than they know what to do with. An aggressive push in from ardiis, doesn't even decide to show his location there because of that Roomba. But that barrier orb going to be used to try to keep him alive, and the paint shells tagging him down to 34, but a quick heal orb bringing him back up to full. Speaking of the other side, there's already pandemonium across the board, a couple of kills already converted. But now the 3v3 as they look towards this A site.
The Cypher 2 has been spotted back behind the default box. The spam already coming through. There's the swing out, and oh man, almost takes down GobB. GobB survives with almost no HP. ScreaM still on site, gonna hop down from heaven and work their way more towards the U-Haul. ScreaM trying to work into the site. The wall is down, the spike planted, and it is a 2-on-3 post plant. You've got Raze, who went through showers and is running actually all the way around, so they've got a full stack towards short. ScreaM still anticipates a player being here, but now they're starting to realize, okay, they're not in this position. It's time to start sending some feelers down towards short. A missed shot there from ardiis, but no one was present anyway. First shot is going to go the way of GobB, as ardiis was working through with an op, so it's a little bit awkward. So maybe it's not just going to be one round in the first half here for Germany.
You know, if you're ScreaM in that situation, your team has the economy to really play with. You're going to die regardless, but maybe something that we've seen time and time again is have an operator and a rifle to play with, and that might be what ScreaM is thinking. Unfortunately, nookyyy dying to just the edge of the spike explosion. Now they will at least have one extra weapon moving on to this next round. We are seeing the purchases come through, and a crucial round there for Germany. If they lose that round, they don't have the economy to buy here. And you're seeing even now they're kind of struggling to put a couple of those pennies and dimes together. But nevertheless, they will do so regardless. Just one member, unfortunately, having that light armor buy on the side of nookyyy. But now moving into this one, we'll see how this last round shapes up. And hopefully Team Germany can put one more on the board, or else it'll be 10-2. And you know what? You do not want to enter that, that second half with that score.
Absolutely not. 9-3 you don't want to enter in with. Ideally, this is a little bit more even. We watched it play in the first match of the day. It was a 6-6 half. That's the kind of score lines you should anticipate seeing. 8-4s and 7-5s being more of an outlier, but there's the double ult trade. Orbital strikes on both sides, plus the Raze ult. So the showstopper comes out. Somehow the Raze dodges the ult coming in and throws the rocket down. And despite 3 ults being popped, only one player is currently dead on the sidelines.
They will call that rotation, but still just kind of repositioning here, losing that one member now. Kind of a little bit more spread out, looking towards showers, looking towards short. We are seeing that Raze player now look towards Fountain and B short. Still just trying to see who's on the other side, and that camera may spot out nothing, actually, just quite yet, but still. The Team Germany squad are ready and waiting. 20 seconds on the clock. They need to execute fast, and fast they will, because they will need to push in now. The smokes come through, and a quick shot not going to connect, which means that they will still have the confidence to push in. EC1S with 1, and they're still being very careful around the corner. Neural Theft going to catch him in animation. It's GobB that picks up that one. A couple of spray downs here from JEROME. Still, the spike has been planted. The reload on the operator. Now they'll get into position. There's a big lurk coming in from the Raze player, making their way over through the showers. But still, it's a 3v4. The man advantage over to Team ScreaM. They'll start that push in. nookyyy waiting behind the shootable box. That spray down is easy. JEROME and ScreaM capitalize. One more member in the showers. It's zonixx. Tries to find them all, but will not connect. And round number 10 going over to Team ScreaM, and they've got an 8-round lead moving in to the second half.
The ult coming in there right at the end as well, bringing ardiis back to life. 10-2. Strong first half. So they win the pistol, and they win a random round on the A site, but everything else goes the way of Team ScreaM. Consistently dominant performance coming in from Team ScreaM. As they switch sides, we'll go ahead and pull up the scoreboard and take a look and see who has been our top performers. And again, want to remind you guys, the scoreboard UI is a little wonky, so production is doing their best by swapping the team names at the top just so that score stays in line. But ultimately, it shows them on the wrong side. So things are a little bit weird, but if you look, ScreaM and company are up 10-2. So it's just for your own readability. You can see who's winning, even though the teams at the top don't perfectly reflect what's happening in a round. It is a little confusing, and hopefully it'll be fixed by the next patch.
Gotten pretty good at that. I feel like we need like to write a little script. I mean, of course, that script will be kind of rendered useless once the game actually comes out, but nevertheless,
that's what we hope, at least.
Yeah, that's what we hope. Fingers crossed. We will keep you updated about the scores throughout, just to make sure that you are on the same page. But now the attack will start to come through. That'll be ardiis that finds himself on the return end of a couple of scary kills there from the side of zonixx. He'll be quickly traded away. TrilluXe to follow up. 2 HP in a dream now. But the 3v3 quickly turned into a 4v1. And Team ScreaM, sorry, that makes no sense. But Team ScreaM now on the very rough end of this round, and it's all up to him. Let's see if he can clutch things out.
They're just not pistol players, apparently. Team ScreaM didn't win the pistol in the first half, and it's looking unlikely that they're going to win it here. ScreaM does have a self-heal in 2 seconds, so waiting for that one, and there's the self-heal. So ScreaM now going to be peeking over towards short, where there is a multitude of bodies built up. There's the recon dart coming down. ScreaM able to hide just on the edge of the vision path for that. So we'll at least take down GobB, but the spike is out inside the cubby, so he has to move up pretty far to try and get things going for him. Again, ScreaM continuing to move up further. There's the camera, and despite the damage that was laid down, it was only scratching damage to the brim. The German side able to pick up the pistol round. Maybe it's the beginning of something great for them on defense, or it could just be a repeat of that first half.
So let's take a quick look at some of the weapons that our players are going to be entering into the upcoming round. Last time we did see Team ScreaM force buy a couple of Spectres. This time it looks like they are going to be saving. So nothing too fancy as opposed to that first half. Still 2 rounds to get to map point 3 to close it out, so they can do so by dwindling away 1 round at a time. But going to be a tough one right now since the Spectres are in full swing for the side of Team Germany. Already a spray from Rax, not going to connect with anyone, but he gets tagged with the tracking dart. Now they'll start to come through. He'll be found out through the cage, and JEROME leads that one. Maybe picking up the Spectre here can open up the round, but with a member down, Team Germany trying to hold on.
They surrender over long control as well, using that wall. But there's the nade play coming out from zonixx. Again, we saw something similar in the last round. That one came through the portal and just landed perfectly and did so much damage to the players who were over in hookah. There's the recon dart coming out, shot immediately by the attack. So there will not be a pulse on that one. As I say that, though, GobB feels confident, goes up onto the top rope and comes down with the suplex onto ardiis using the Bulldog. Nice shooting from JEROME with just a classic, but it's all up to JEROME here. A 1-on-3 after finding that opener onto the B site. And GobB is just playing with him at this point. Jago peeking, waiting for the support. Nookyyy swings wide. And Germany will double up their round count.
I mean, you say that, and it's true, but very rough position still nonetheless. Of course, they can start to make their way back around, but for them, they will be facing up a fully bought Team ScreaM now. That third round, usually the round that signifies a full buy. Vandals, armor, utility across the board. This is going to be our first competitive round in the second half where things are going to be a little bit more respectful, a little bit more interesting, and to see how these two teams duke it out. Team Germany have 6 rounds to catch up, and by that point, I can imagine Team ScreaM will at least put a round or 2 on the board. So very, very important for them to make waves and continue this start to the second half, hoping to make it 3-0 start here. But let's see how Team ScreaM set up.
ScreaM going to use that slow orb up on long to try and gain control of the orb. davidp picks off zonixx. So davidp actually is all the way in their spawn. davidp has snuck up on short onto this A site and now wrapped back around into their spawn. The Raze, now a massive problem for them. As the Raze goes through, it's actually davidp who's just sitting back towards the backside of B. They've got the pinch on B here. They're desperately in hope of some support coming in from the brim. But with davidp able to get through the A site like this, They're wondering now if they should maybe head back towards A. What they don't realize is, in the meantime, there's been a rotate over.
Nice.
GOB does get the pickup onto davidp, but an immediate trade from the nade follow-up. TrilluXe finds one. He was watching the flank, but now the spike's going to be heading on over to A. This round really made possible by davidp, but it's still a 1-on-2, a winnable opportunity for nookyyy.
Yeah, and he's made his way off to that site already. He raced them there. Unfortunately, they'll get there first. That spike will go down. Now making his way through U-Haul, but the recon bolt spoils the fun. And now it's over. He's got to go in brute force. Gets that spray down onto the barrier orb, trying to clear his way through. But now making his way back through U-Haul, making a return trip, trying to see if he can spot somebody out. One going to be in behind the truck. That's going to be the one down short that he finds him, and still, unfortunately, does not check the corner. And ScreaM in a beautiful post-plant position, putting around on the board, picking up an operator. And that's going to be a very rough position now for Germany, as they may not have the economy to bounce back with the exact weaponry to match.
I mean, you can see they are going to scrape it together. They're really digging deep into their pockets. An armorless bulldog for zonixx. Light armor and phantoms for Rax and nookyyy. GOB able to afford the full buy with the Vandal and the full armor. But then again, on the opposite side, too, ScreaM's on light armor with a Bulldog. You got light armor with a Phoenix for one other. So even though they have the AWP in play, it's still not fantastic. There's the recon dart early. ardiis wanted to hold with that AWP. Has to back off at least for the moment. Now, ardiis does have that ult. Or the ult is on the attacking side, the defending side, excuse me. It's GOB who's sending it out over towards short. A couple of pulses. Does look like he connected onto ardiis. So ardiis did take one shot from the Hunter's Fury and is down low. ScreaM going to spot out the camera in hookah and then decides to back off. As the heal comes through, bringing his teammate back up to full HP. It's EC1S lurking in the showers that is able to pick off TrilluXe and give them a man advantage.
This might open things up. It's a 2v2 split across both sites. Team Germany sending out one down long just to try to get a little bit of information, but that spray down on the barrier orb means that it might be a push in towards the site, just brute force through hookah. There's three members there laying in wait. It's nookyyy, who's ready with a slow orb to match. On the opposite side, he will be faced with a member looking down long. It's still two members on the A site. GOB gonna find one to keep things at least resolute, and that'll be another kill for Rax. So orbital strike pushing nookyyy back. And it's still hold on here from the site from Team Germany. Still looking to keep it alive. 18 HP for the fellow Cypher player. Rax staying alive. It's a 3v3. They might call the rotation, but there's 14 seconds left. They have to act quick. That'll be the showstopper. It's jump through. That'll be Rax that falls. nookyyy around the corner. They jump in through hookah, but they don't see him. The spray is good. One more member remaining, and he is up in hookah. It's ScreaM, and with none of his team members left alive, he will grab the AWP, escape with it, and another round on the board for Team Germany.
Rough clock management coming out there for the attacking side. So Germany kind of just has to sit back and sit on their haunches and wait for Team ScreaM to try to force their way into the site, and they do, and they play it masterfully as well. You know, you have a player, nookyyy, who's just sitting elbow waiting for the push to come through and just waits and waits and waits, and ends up capitalizing on the patience as well. As the spike tries to advance across the site, goes down with about 6 seconds left. There was no chance for them to even get that spike planted, as no one was nearby able to pick that spike back up. So a good rebound here in the second half from Germany. Yeah, sure, their backs are against the wall, and they've given up far too many rounds already. But it's not over till it is over, and comebacks are certainly possible. Here comes the ult from the attack now. The Hunter's Fury, able to take down TrilluXe, who was stuck over there with a dart in his belly inside the cubby. A recon dart's going to go down. It's going to be zonixx who gets the pickup, though. And there's the ult! 2 coming out from the showstopper ult from zonixx. That's huge. The nade follow-up and the Roomba over towards short. And it'll be the nade to finish off the 4K on the round for zonixx. A big one for Germany.
Who thought that Raze could be such a great operator, or agent rather, on defense? That is just crazy. We're going to catch a quick replay of zonixx. That's going to be first the showstopper that gets the job done. Finds its way to 2, and then the paint shells in the latter half of that replay. We're going to show JEROME stuck behind the box, and then the paint shells just able to connect. Now moving on to this next round, GOB finding himself 14 kills at the top of the leaderboards for his team. zonixx not too far behind. But for Team ScreaM, they're just trying to put 2 on the board and move on to that next map. But Team Germany are obviously making it very difficult for them. Let's see how it starts off with TrilluXe on the returning end of a couple of bullets, hiding in the showers.
Yeah, TrilluXe trapped here a little bit. Going to use the owl drone through the smoke to try and grab that old orb potentially. So with that kill on the owl drone coming in deep, they're going to go ahead and grab it. But here comes the push up short. There's the orbital strike coming out as well. The Raze barely escapes. The Raze on low HP. They've cut this push in half, and the big problem is the Sage is alone. So there's the nade onto ScreaM. That's a massive loss for the attacking side, not having that heal, but also just not having ScreaM and his mechanical skill to assist you. Gabi from back behind default, trying to spam some shots through. It's actually TrilluXe that picks it up. Rax comes in with one as well, but not after ardiis finds 2 himself. So now it's a 2-on-3. It's going to be Raze, David P lurking through the shadows, and one through the wall. Great shooting onto Gabi. It's now a 1v1. It's ardiis. Ardiis spots out the Sage, but the Sage has enough staying power to stick around. A 7th round on the board for Germany. They are not giving up yet.
Yeah, this is so close. Now we're going to see a potential eco from the side of Team ScreaM. We see one Phantom from the side of ScreaM, but the rest of the team opting in for a couple of ghosts. Rough stuff for the side of Team ScreaM. You know, we talk a little bit about how comebacks can come to fruition. This is how. You know, one half very rarely tells the same story as the second, you know? And in this situation, these are going down to 1v1s, 2v2s, and Team Germany are just coming out on top. You know, in the previous half, it was Team ScreaM that were just, quite frankly, dominating, and they were winning by 3v1s, 4v1s. They just had incredible man advantages. But a man advantage starting off here for the side of Team ScreaM. They find one down long, and now have an opportunity to push in through B.
ScreaM gets the entry onto Rax, the Cypher going down on site. We'll go ahead and self-heal as they attempt to work their way in towards the B site and get that spike planted. As you can see right now, they did have 2 players playing towards B. There was one on the A side. Now the push is through, though. The spike has been put down on towards the B site. And it will be that lurk play coming in from the Cypher that could benefit them, but no. As I say that, it's all brought down to 2. It's David P and the Sova somehow facing off against the Brim. The Brim on the opposite side of the map, so not going to be a retake opportunity here. And TrilluXe is really just going to hold on to that op if possible. Maybe watch the other side of that port for the jump through to come in from the B site. But a 12th round will go on the board here for Team ScreaM.
I kind of like this play from the side of TrilluXe. Of course, you're not going to be able to, you know, come out on top with the diffusal here. It's a 1v2. You want to save the weaponry, especially considering it's the second half, and the repercussions of, you know, potential loss of weaponry, and now hiding in the portal will be the Raze player. Finds himself, David P, in a safe position nonetheless, and that's crucial. Map point now. Of course, Team Germany a little bit in the driver's seat, but Team ScreaM holding on to the wheels from the passenger side, and only need to put 1 more on the board. That means that that round buffer is no longer available for Germany. They need to make sure every round counts. And if you have a look at their economy, it's not looking good. I see a couple of zeros, and not zeros following other numbers, just zeros. And so for Team ScreaM, they have to be feeling good, have to be feeling a little bit more confident. And we'll see if they can get some early frags out. That seems to be how they won these 2 rounds. If they can get a couple of early kills and not die like that, they could have a chance here.
Gabi had that owl drone and kind of sat on the wall for a minute, waiting to go around the corner so that zonixx could be in position to potentially peek out. But it was that early kill pickup coming in off the operator from TrilluXe that was saved in from the previous round. Again, a bunt across the finish line at this point for Team ScreaM. Germany's still looking for a home run. As they go ahead and heave the nades down, David P will be brought back into play. Never mind. The nade lands directly in David P's lap, so a little bit of revenge there against the opposite Raze. They'll go back and scoop up the spike. There was some aggression coming in as well from the Cypher, who took out the tripwire on the rear side, so they know there's a potential for Rax to be hiding somewhere creative and also annoying. Look at that camera placement. Right back behind that. You're not going to see it. There's the ult coming out from the Raze, but Not really going to do much. No one's there. Nice play from Rax, waiting back behind this wall. Picks up 2, tries to go for the 3rd. Nice trade out from ardiis, but his teammates down and out as well. JEROME gunned down over on the A side. It's all up to ardiis working with an op. Knows there's one over in the portal now. The odds of surviving decreasing by the second.
He's getting a little bit of safety, sees the little toesies down to the right, and the shot will connect, but they know where he is now. The swing there, not going to connect. And now backing away with the recon bolt. The defenders obviously win, but nookyyy fast enough to catch up to ardiis, taking him down, putting us at 8-12. Every round counts, of course. Having a quick look at that replay now, moving on to see how Rax was able to get it done. That camera placement really was the MVP, and those shots just easy pickings. Now 4 rounds away from Team Germany's catch-ups. Team ScreaM are just trying to close it out so they can move on to that next map, but like you were saying earlier, Germany's not going down without a fight.
Poland and Finland duking it out right now as well in another match. It's 12-10 currently, also on bind, and it looks like Poland is poised to take it. The other game, I think, was 8-4 at half, which was the UK-France game that I was able to get a score update on. Not aware of what the score is of that, of any other games that are going on live. But there's the shot from TrilluXe. A nice one onto ardiis. The follow-up from davidp as well. A 1-2 punch. The ult comes down. It's right in front. Doesn't make a difference. davidp finds 4 on the round. Completely shuts down the shower push as it's another round on the board for Germany. Again, this was looking terrible coming into the second half. It was 10-2, but it's been turned around pretty quickly, and davidp has been a big piece of that with this round here. He gets 2 quick kills and then came back to find the following 2 coming in through the showers as well. The buy from the side of Team ScreaM, not going to be pretty. If we go ahead and pull up the scoreboard, we can take a look at that.
Yeah, they're getting a couple of bits and pieces from the bargain bin. Not really everything fits, and even the one-size-fits-all not looking that good. The Phantom going to be coming out here, but other than that, it's just going to be a couple of sheriffs and maybe a dream. nookyyy finding himself on the other end of that dream. They're going to start that swing. ScreaM with his one-taps. Finds one on the quick headshot over to Rax. Might open up the round. Another one around the corner. The sheriff shots followed up with EC1S. 2 quick kills could be detrimental to Team Germany's success here. The neural theft going to spot out where everyone's located, opening up the A site. But it's still just one member over there. TrilluXe with the operator. We've seen how deadly he can be. The call over from the portal. But still, there's zonixx waiting around. A couple of those shots don't really connect. Both raises take a little bit of HP. Unfortunately, Team ScreaM's raise took a little bit more. davidp now making his way through A short. They've got control. The spike will likely get planted, but he's going to commit the defuse. And that Hunter's Fury. Ooh, but that's going to be ardiis that finds the quick kill back around. A 3v2 now with the spike ticking down. A 1v3. zonixx, it's all up to you.
zonixx tries to do what he can, coming through from spawn, but it will be Team ScreaM picking up the first of the maps in this best of